I'm the king of rock, there is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire. To burn my kingdom, you must choose fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire.
Now we rock dark parties and come correct.
Hey, this is RJ, and we're with The Variant, and we are here at HeroesCon with a living legend, DMC.
What's happening? What's happening, Variant? Love you guys. What's the deal?
But so, what are you doing here at HeroesCon? This is usually pop culture. But
well,
you
I
are
am pop culture.
I know. I mean, you are the king of rock. So
you took the words out of my mouth. 2 years ago, I put out a comic book.
Okay.
It's the DMC. Daryl Makes Comics is the company.
Right.
We are doing what Marvel and DC have been doing. That is our vision. It's a big vision. So far, we're in our second year, and we created the company to be a celebration and a tribute of what comic books are, is, and forever will be. The reason why I'm DMC, the greatest thing that ever happened to hip-hop, is because of comic books. People's coming to me, D, why are you in the comic books now? Before music, before rock and roll, before hip-hop, all I did as a kid was collect, read, and draw comic books. The Easter eggs have always been there. You go back to 1985, if you listen to King of Rock, I say crash through walls, come through floors, bust through ceilings, and knock down doors. Rappers don't do that, superheroes do that.
Right.
So 2 years ago, we decided to start Daryl Makes Comics so that I can do with this comic book everything that comic books did to me, but on top of that, everything that my music has always been doing, I can even do more with the comic book. The people can hold it in their hands, they can read, their imagination could put them in them scenarios, you know what I'm saying? Comic books did a lot for me as a kid. I was a great student, always on the honor roll, 5 and 6 stars on the forehead, always had a good report card, because back in my day, even the educators, they didn't understand what's going on. They was like, stop the kids from reading comic books, it's going to ruin them. But the fact that I was reading every day, you know what I'm saying? They wanted me to read the school books. The school books was boring, you know what I'm saying? Important, but boring. And what I mean by that is this. In history, I would learn about World War II. But when I came home and read Captain America took me there. School couldn't do that. In science, I would learn about the planets and the comets and the rings of Saturn. But Silver Surfer would take my ass there.
Yes.
School couldn't do that. So all of that visuals, all of that education, the imagination, the colors, you know what I'm saying? Everything that comic books is and forever will be was an integral part of what hip-hop is. Because remember, hip-hop, we had alter egos, you know, I'm DMC, but I'm really the mighty king of rock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You look at what Wu-Tang is, and what people don't understand, pop culture has a lot of influence on the arts. You know, look at Wu-Tang with Kung Fu movies. When I was coming up, it was comic books, Kung Fu movies, hip-hop, and rock and roll. So all of those elements allowed me to not just become a rapper, but the king of rock, and there will never be none higher. All you sucker MCs will always call me sire. So what we did with the comic book, we put it in the 80s-like universe. But the question is, it looks like the 80s, it feels like the 80s, but is it the 80s? It could be the future. So the reader has to figure out, is this the 80s from when DMC was a young man, or is this the future? But in the comic book, it's a different DMC. In this universe, my superpower is hip-hop and rock and roll. In the comic books, I never rap. I graduated from St. John's University, and I become a teacher, because RUN-DMC was always big on education. But in the comic book, I really got superpowers. I'm in a universe where when you're introduced to the DMC universe, there's already superheroes running around. I'm the first superhero introduced from the DMC universe. But there's a problem with all the other superheroes. Some bad, some good, but the good problems is even still bad. For instance, the superheroes that are already there is like this. You want me to save your city? You gotta pay me. Imagine that, if you was a superhero, you could rich. You can get rich, and then the other superheroes is, I only defend the Italian people. Well, the black guys, well then I only defend the black people. Then the Asian guy, well I'm gonna defend Asian. So the superheroes are all over the place. The people in the universe know that DMC is the only superhero, just like my music is for this world,
Right.
DMC's the only superhero for all people,
everyone.
all right, and he don't want no money.
Nice.
And he's a teacher, which is a good thing. So in the comic book, though, there's hip hop, there's punk rock, there's rock and roll, there's goth, there's all of those entities that exist in our world today. But DMC is not the rapping superhero, because rapping superheroes is corny. Let's be. I will defeat you and beat you. No.
With rap.
But in the book, the young people are doing the hip hop and the comics and all of that. So it's everything relevant to my existence in this universe. But in this universe, I never meet Run. I don't become the mighty king of rock. I'm just a mild-mannered teacher trying to educate the young people.
Nice. Very cool. Hands down, favorite superhero, favorite comic book.
Favorite superhero ever is the Hulk. Yeah, I mean, not just because he's strong too. I look at the Hulk like this. When I was young, remember those black and white horror films with Lon Chaney Jr. and Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff and all of that?
Creepiest.
Yeah, it was it's very creepy. Scared the death out of me as a little kid.
Right.
But remember Lon Chaney Jr.'s Wolfman? He didn't want the curse and he knew he had it and he would always tell people, kill me because I don't want. Bruce Banner's kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's the Hulk is mighty and stuff like that, the Hulk hates him puny Dr. Banner and this and that. It's a curse. It's a blessing and a curse. So I kind of relate with that. But my favorite comic book, believe it or not, was Captain America. Yeah, as a kid, he was my favorite comic book guy to draw. Captain America and Spider-Man, but my favorite comic book to read that just plugged me out and got me engulfed into a whole nother reality that, oh my God, it took me through so many emotions, was Captain America. Hulk's favorite superhero, Captain America favorite comic book to read ever, and Spider-Man was cool to me because Spider-Man lived in Queens, and I lived in Queens.
All right, well, that is all the time we got for today. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
And just keep doing what you're doing,
baby. Comic books rule because comics are cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated, sir.